when TikTok got banned? That was like a big thing in the news. Yeah. It was a big deal for me at least because I'm a social media manager by day. Yeah. So that was a problem. Is like, is Instagram, is Facebook, is that going to be next? And a lot of people would tell me, read a book, Mollie, right? Like, TikTok may be banned, but just read a book. And my mom was one of those offenders. So I remember talking to my mom, right? And I was like, Mom, I want you to name 6 book titles right now, just on the top of your head. And she couldn't name me 6 book titles, but you know what she could name me? The 6 couples that are currently on 90 Day Fiance. But like outside of comedy, like I'm a real person, okay? I'm married, I'm 35, I have a house, but then when I go visit my family in my hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio, I'll be hanging out with my mom and I immediately turn back into a teenager. I'm like, what's for dinner? What are we making? What are we watching? And of course I'll watch 90 Day Fiance with her because I love my mom. And she gets very into it. She'll point at a couple and she goes, see that couple there, Mollie? They're not gonna work out. And I'm like, Mom, spoiler alert, all of these couples are not going to work out. Right? But yeah, no, like I said, I'm married, and it's a little bit different in comedy to say that, because when I first started doing comedy, and I still do open mics to practice material, a lot of men get on stage, and the first thing they say is, I'm single, and I'm on the apps, and we're like, no shit, really? We couldn't tell. It should probably stay that way. But yeah, for me, I actually really adore my husband. I met him through comedy, and I think the reason why we do have such a good relationship is because we got married in our 30s. Which I feel like would have been different if I got married in my 20s, and here's why. Because for me, in my 20s, I was a hot mess. I was a theater major. I was definitely that girl you saw outside your neighborhood bar or club with the sequin dress up my ass. Okay. Yeah, I repped it out. Like, I remember, I would be dating a guy, and he was usually like an artist or a musician. And I know there's a lot of good artists and musicians out there, but none of those were my boyfriends. And I'm honest about that. No, I remember staying at one of my boyfriend's houses. I remember I was so excited because he had silverware, but it was plastic underneath plastic, right? So I was like, yeah, I like a prepared man. Here we go. But then the opposite would happen because then I would go use the restroom and there wouldn't be any toilet paper, right? I know. But of course, me being 22 and very positive, I was like, oh, it's okay. He's gonna make it. It's fine. Love is love. But then, when I'm in my 30s, I found something about myself that I didn't think I had before, and you guys should try it sometime. It's called having standards. It's great. Yeah, because then when I met my husband, he had a lot of things that my ex-boyfriend didn't have. For example, he had a lot of love in his heart. He was very compassionate. He had a job. So I knew that because, of course, once I started staying with him at his place, not only would we have breakfast with real silverware, okay? But then after having sex with him, I would go to the bathroom, and not only did this man have toilet paper, but he made sure he had that fancy Charmin Ultra Soft 3-ply. Right? Yeah, and wet wipes. All right. That's when yes, I love it. I was like, I'm gonna lock this down right now, okay? Because finally, I have found a man that not only gives it to me hard, but makes sure I have a soft landing afterwards. Makes sense for me. I love how some of you are on board for that. That's great. We can see who's having fun in here and who is not. That's right. Speaking of having fun, though, I've had a lot of there's a reason how I ended up doing comedy in front of you guys tonight, all right? Because I've had a lot of weird experiences. A lot of that came from that I went to private school. That's not a flex. I just need a lot of therapy. So one of those things is when you're in private school, you take a lot of weird classes like world religions, all right? And it was interesting. My religion teacher told us, now everybody, you have to go to a religion you're not familiar with and learn something about it and then write your paper on it. So I was like, I'm prepared because I was very lucky to have a Jewish godmother who was my grandmother. I would call her every week. And she'd always be like, Cookie, there's a Jewish seminar over at the Valley Temple. You gotta join me one week. It's gonna be very fun. So one week I returned the call and I said, hey Estelle, do you have a Jewish seminar that I can attend that's coming up? I'm ready. And she's like, oh yeah, Cookie, I do. There's a very nice man named Jerry that's gonna be teaching Judaism. You gotta join us, you're gonna love it. So you can imagine my surprise when, picture it, early 2000s, Cincinnati, Ohio, your girl walks into the Valley Temple 5 minutes from your house, and I walk in, and this nice man named Jerry is Jerry Springer. I'm like, what is going on? I had no idea. I'm like, am I a guest on the show now? What's happening? Pull the cue cards. Why didn't anybody tell me? So first I turned to my godmother. I'm like, Estelle, you did not tell me that Jerry was Jerry Springer, okay? And she goes, oh, Cookie, don't even worry about it. Jerry's been coming here for years. He's a regular. He's just Jerry to us. And don't get me wrong, love the sentiment, but I was like, Estelle, I have seen the show, and I know it's not just Jerry. It's Jerry, Jerry, Jerry. Yes, we got some white trash in here. I love it. Takes one to know one. I love it. Now, here's the reason why I'm familiar with Jerry Springer. Because obviously now, right, I got Netflix, I got Hulu, I got all the things that you have to stream things on. But remember back in the day, if you were sick at home, you'd be watching cartoons, and then around 12 or 1 o'clock, Jerry Springer would come.